Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this episode of the Lombard Lounge. Today, we're talking about BTCfi on the SUI ecosystem. So, joined with me today, we've got some of the top builders in the space. So, we have got Carl from Navi, we've got Gidwell from SUIland, and we've got Amy from Cetus. So, thank you for your time spent with us today. Really excited for some of the topics we're going to jump into. And on the Lombard side, we've got myself, Matt, head of product, and we've got Maxime, our DeFi lead as well. So I'm sure he'll give some valuable insights along the way. So I'm excited to see what kind of alpha I can get in the next 30 minutes. Let's jump straight into some intros from the builders we've got with us today. But before we do so, please do drop questions in. We'd love to know what else people are up to within the SUI ecosystem. If you're using LBTC or building your own project out, we'd love to kind of hear about that, and we can answer some questions live as well as we go. So I think we'll jump straight in with Amy, ladies first.
Oh, me. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy. I am head of business development here at Cetus Protocol. I guess that's it, right? You'll move on.
Absolutely, and maybe just a one-liner as well on what Cetus is.
I mean, we are the liquidity infra built on Sui since day one, and we're a V3, so CLMM model of a DEX, as well as the leading aggregator for the space.
Awesome, thank you very much. Pleasure to have you with us today. And I'll go to Gidwell.
Hey, how's it going? Gidwell. I'm the head of growth for SUIland. We're the largest lending protocol on Sui, and excited to talk about LPTC today. I'll probably mention this later, but I think we have the most LPTC on Sui, so glad to support you guys. We also have Steam, our AMM, and we also have Spring Suite, the leading LST. And so, yeah, excited for this conversation today.
Awesome, thanks for joining us. And last but not least is Carl.
Hi, this is Carl. I'm the BD lead of Navi. So Navi's aim to be the largest liquidity hub on Sui. So instead of just a lending and borrowing platform, we also provide our DEX aggregator. We also got a cross-chain feature, and we also got our own LST protocol, and we are launching a DEX soon. So very, very excited to talk about BTC as Navi sits with over 55% of BTC asset on Sui. So very, very looking forward to engage on this topic.
Awesome, very good. And I guess on our side as well, Maxime, if you'd like to perhaps give the one-line elevator pitch for LBTC and Lombard too, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, so at Lombard, we bring Bitcoin on-chain, and originally we viewed Bitcoin staking as a massive catalyst for Bitcoin growth on-chain. So this is how we came up with the LBTC. LBTC is the prime LST on Bitcoin, built on top of Babylon. We have roughly 50% of the, we have the majority and roughly 50% of the liquid stake market on Bitcoin. We work across many different chains. Started roughly a year ago from Ethereum, and as of several months ago, we scaled into Sui ecosystem. So far, it's been a pretty great ride. We're around $100 million in TVL on Sui across the protocols represented by the builders on the stream, SUIland, Navi, Cetus. There are a couple of others, and happy to build with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Obviously, we know BTCfi on Sui is definitely heating up. Fresh integrations, rising TVL, user demand, and also I think just momentum within the ecosystem. We're seeing a lot of transformations within Sui. So really like to hear about why Sui is the best place for BTCfi as well. Obviously, as a network. as we know, and as you know, and probably hear about all the time, it's hugely scalable with the consensus mechanism that it has. Transaction fees are very low. Finality is very quick. I believe it's under a second for simple transfers, and maybe like 2 seconds or so for more complex ones. And that's coupled with programming in the Move language, so non-EVM on that side. So it'd be interesting to hear about how that fits into the product development side as well, and the audience and the community. And then there's innovative login experiences with ZK login as well on the user experience side. So there's a lot of interesting features, I think, which create new protocols and new products, which combined with the Bitcoin side could lead to very interesting explosion of growth from the strong momentum that we've had to date. So with that said, I think perhaps if we go back to Amy, I'd love to hear about BTC growth within Cetus. What do you see with user activity over the past couple of months, and what do users want more of?
Yeah, I think since launch, we wouldn't really just look at CETUS on the pool side, but also from the trading activities that you would see from our aggregators. So I'd say over the past few months, we've seen very solid growth overall in trading volume, as well as user counts for LBTC. This can be very visible through our pools activities, but also directly through the aggregator swaps that we could track on our backend. And I think that this really kind of demonstrates to the ecosystem that more and more users have developed like stronger interest overall in holding and utilizing LPTC as within their DeFi strategy on the day-to-day. Which, you know, I think a lot of people has been in the early days more skeptical, saying that, okay, a lot of these BTCfi would consist of most like the larger whales that hold BTC, but like aren't really doing anything with it. But now that we've seen this surge in demand, it really sees that BTCfi is happening on Sui and more users are interested.
Awesome, that's great. And what makes Sui different over other ecosystems? Why is Sui the place for BTCfi?
I think I mean, for us, I think it's fair to really just say that it really boils down to it's like a collective effort within whether it's the foundation, but also like ecosystem partners within Sui. Because I'd say like within our ecosystem, we really strive to build for like the long-term synergies within the ecosystem in terms of adoption. So because we have that in mind as a whole, I think this really enabled the builders here with all the partners that we have here to build different use cases for BTCfi that are very solid and here to stay. This is also applicable to all the respective assets that we could utilize on top. So I think this makes the Sui users and community like really have like a thorough understanding of where this is going, and kind of merge our existing community and users with other BTC users that are coming into the ecosystem and kind of just build this greater community as a whole. So that's kind of how I see it.
Awesome, thanks for sharing that. Goodwill, I guess with Sui Lend, you have strong demand for LBTC. I think you have around $62 million of LBTC in Sui Lend right now. So yeah, it would be good to kind of hear more about how we got to that level today and where we see the future going from there.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on it, right? Like, I think there's a huge demand for Bitcoin finance, and I think you touched on a lot of the reasons why Sui's winning. Like, the tech is good, the UX is really good. It comes down to like, okay, now the chain with the best UX, like, what can we do with Bitcoin, right? It's this digital to gold narrative, and for a lot of people, they don't want to do anything with the Bitcoin. They just want to stay solvent. They want to use it as a store of value. And so obviously, Sui Lend, we're a bank essentially, right, functionally. And so we do enable folks to borrow against their BTC holdings, perhaps hedge. And so there's a lot of use cases, right, when you allow for collateral And recently we actually we increased the LTV, the loan to value, on Lombard BTC to 50%. So I believe that's the highest on Sui at the moment. So just unlocking more capital efficiency. So, allowing people to borrow more against their LPC holdings.
Awesome, very good, thank you. And Carl, what are your thoughts? So BTCfi adoption, where is it going with Navi, and what do you see as the opportunities ahead there?
Yeah, like before I start, I actually got some very, very exciting stats to share. I just pull up my cheat sheet on another monitor. So actually, I think LPC is actually one of the largest BTCfi asset on Sui right now. I think like over the past 3 months, our LBTC vault and activity have actually increased 300% in terms of DVL or like on-chain activities. And actually, half of them are from like new users who haven't engaged with Sui before. So I guess the Bitcoin first crowd is actually arriving onto Sui ecosystem, and I think Sui got a very, very good advantage towards BTCfi, because like for me BTCfi is all about trust and performance. So we used to get a concept like called the impossible triangle, right? We got the cost, we got the speed, and we got the scalability. And I think like Sui kind of just break that triangle. It just achieved the free edge in a very, very technical way, right? You can actually engage and interact with DeFi protocols with a very, very cheap and a very, very efficient manner. And while it's keep on rapidly growing to optimize the on-chain or like a transaction performance, which makes it a very, very ideal soil for BTCfi to grow. And I think another advantage is like we got very, very good fundamental pieces on DeFi, like Navi, like Sweetland, like Yadas. We got good lending protocols. We got good DAXs like CETAS and Yadas as well. I think they all provide different options for DeFi players or BTC holders to engage on based on their preference, right? If you are prefer static yield, and you can actually see from the stat at least 60% of the BTC asset on Navi is engaged in yield farming. And you can see quite a lot of people choose to form an LP to have a more advanced strategy to capture additional gain. And you can see people somehow aim to increase their capital efficiency, and they just choose to use BTC as a collateral to borrow out extra money or liquidity to engage on different trading activities. And I think it's actually growing very, very strong. We can see the trend. We can see people are start reaching out to us to can you increase the cap? Can you increase the LTV so that we can engage in further DeFi activities? Are you guys considering doing another wave of campaign with Lombard? And this is the very, very honest feedback we receive from very, very loyal users and the community. So I think generally not only BTC holders inflowing onto Sui, is also converting some of the Sui users into BTC believers. So I guess it's a problem of it's an issue of a chicken and egg, but I think this is the issue is growing into a very, very good way, because more people believe in BTC, more people believe in the core fundamental of our industry, which will just make us go further and stronger.
Awesome, thank you. I think that's very true. It's something which we find is obviously Bitcoin is kind of this incredibly neutral crypto asset. So whilst there's a lot of fighting between different factions within DeFi and crypto and different networks, Bitcoin is prevalent across all of them. And I think where we saw quite early a lot of potential for more Bitcoin involvement with Sui, and that's why it's our first non-EVM integration. So going through that process, and for us learning about the Sui blockchain along the way, and some of the incredible projects has been really exciting to see. And I think the strong foundation that we're on right now means we should see even more explosive growth in the future around all of your core protocols here, which enable even more different products to be built on top as well. Carl, I think you mentioned a perps market on the way as well, potentially. Sorry, Carl, I think you mentioned something about a perps protocol as well earlier. Is that something that you guys are building out and is coming soon too?
Oh yeah, it's actually still in beta. We are in the
Okay.
final stage and optimizing it. So it's gonna be like a more exciting product. We look to launch in the near future. So I think the idea is to create more synergy between different product lines, right? Like we got LST, we got Lightning Protocol, we got an aggregator, and we got a perp DAX. So like we need to create a stronger reason for people to further increase their capital efficiency, which AKA as lending and borrowing, right? So like perp DAX could be like a very good option if they see some short term opportunity and they just need extra capital to execute the idea. So lending borrowing will be a very good tool. Cost chain aggregator will be another good tool because they can move fund money from on chains onto Sui to perform that certain idea or like a quick trading opportunities, right? So I guess so that's why we try to build like a small ecosystem within ourselves between 4 different product lines just to provide a full set of user experience when they're engaged on different DeFi protocols, right?
Awesome. Makes sense. Makes sense. And Maxime, what about from a Lombard perspective? So with LBTC on all of these incredible ecosystems, what do we think from our perspective that's brought to Sui, and what does that enable next?
So there are two things I could think of immediately from my perspective. First, is the institutional reach. I think Sui has developed and emerged as this very institutional, open and friendly ecosystem that is understandable and trustworthy from the institutional side, which is great to see. They also have access towards the markets, like very deep reach towards the markets, which were not necessarily explored for a very long time, like the Middle East, for example. So I think that is a very powerful source of distribution and capital acquisition for us. So that's the first one, and then the second one for me is so the all the tech that Sui provides makes it a great a great venue for order books. It makes it a great venue for hyper efficient AMMs. Great venue for very efficient RFQ systems, matching on the aggregator level. So all things regarding the trading experience is supposed to be on the highest level that we can access today on chain. So at Lombard, we think a lot about Bitcoin trading as another very important utility, and we don't really see a ton of Bitcoin volumes today on chain, and we believe that for some time the tech was really preventing us from reaching great scalability on that front, which is not the case today, right? So Sui does a lot of that, and that's great. So what I would love to see in the future, and this is something that we aspire for and would love to bring to Sui ecosystem, is very comparable user experience in terms of Bitcoin trading, comparable to centralized exchange level UX. And when we achieve that, I think that will unlock first a ton of demand. Second, the trading fees generated from this will be a great source of organic yield for Bitcoin, which is something that we all seek very actively in past year as BTCfi started to boom. So yeah, those will be very important unlocks for us.
Awesome. Very good. Let's go back to Amy, so we can find out what she's drinking. No. Or maybe it
Sorry.
was an ice cream. I don't know. But maybe we move on to talk about Sui's technical edge. So I don't know if you've ever worked in different ecosystems before AME, but it would be great to understand the differences between EVM chains and Sui, and then how that affects building BTCfi products. I wonder if from Sui's architecture, if there's I mean, Maxine hinted to some of them, but if there's other potential features which can lead to kind of new innovations and new products. So please.
Yeah, so that was Americano, very boring and basic. But for us, my sort of experience was never really with EVM, to be honest. I was with another ecosystem, but we weren't EVM, and they're not as optimized. So I don't know much about EVM, but I guess what I can say is, to my very high level knowledge, which is not technical at all. Sweet's tech, like at its core, it kind of enables a lot of like trading activities, or even just like built out strategies within the codes itself, within our protocols, when we're designing our products, that we can execute a lot of the trades in parallel, which ultimately makes throughput very optimized for DeFi trading. And I think in a way, because we're talking about BTCfi, if we were to look into other ecosystems out there, I feel like, because BTC at its nature holds like the greatest amount of capital and a lot of users amongst the world, I think it's one of the largest assets out there. We really need to have this kind of enabled within an ecosystem that can handle that at its core. And I believe Sui is here for that. I'm not sure I can say the same for other ecosystems. And you guys came from EVM, so you guys would be able to contribute more on that as well. And I would love to know. But to my knowledge, I think this is why Sui works for BTC5.
I think that makes sense, right? And it's really the speed of execution. It's not being subject just to like on-chain and permanent loss when it comes to trading pools and having to proactively hedge that. But having more, as Maxime said, order book like exchange methods as well, I think is going to lead to more and more trading volume. I think there's more professional trading players operating within Sui as well, market makers, etc. So that level of activity leading to efficient pricing and leading to capital efficient trading opportunities for DeFi users, I think is where the strength is. And that's why I think we see tremendous growth so far. I don't know if Carl or Gidwell would like to hop in on that topic as well.
Isn't like a developer velocity, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously the Sweeland team, we originally were Solend, now called Save on Solana. That was before my time, but just from we've been on Sweep for a little over a year, and we've built 3 different protocols, from scratch, all novel code. And I think that kind of velocity is definitely something, I've talked to our team that we would not have been able to do on Solana. So that's, again, just something that, Sui has an advantage of over other chains. And then I think like another cool thing with Sui is like, you can do a lot of cool things where you can basically handle a lot of transactions in one transaction. So PTBs, right? Programmable transaction blocks. Like recently we announced a feature where, again, where a lot of people use this as a savings bank, right? So you can basically like claim all of your rewards as Sui or USDC, right? I did make the case for Bitcoin, so maybe we'll add that as well at some point. But yeah, basically, I've also gotten a lot of inbound from people about they want to DCA, LBTC or WT on Bitcoin assets on Sui, right? So they want even on Sui, people want to slowly accumulate more Bitcoin assets, right? So the tech's good, and the interest in Bitcoin, people, DCAing more is definitely there.
Cool. And so semi-spicy question. Do you find like DCA features popular right now, or is it more of a hope that as more retail users come on board, that will be popular in the future. So obviously the audience is slightly different when it comes to dollar cost averaging.
I think yeah, it's definitely like a retail feature. I mean, depends. Like, I think a lot of people like are always. Some people are saying they think they can time the market, right? So they might save their buys for like this past week, right, where we had a huge dip, relatively huge dip, and then some people maybe are just like, I don't want to deal with it. I'm just gonna set it and forget it, right? So, um, I'm a bit of both. It depends like what kind of mood I'm in. So having that option, right, having that tooling is always good. Allows you to appeal to different type of people. I think like right now, I'm guessing most of the people who probably allocated a lot probably did so under 100K, right? But maybe some people are just trying to squeeze in a little bit under 100K, like they could have briefly this last week. So that's just my guess.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we could time the market, then we'd all be sitting on a beach right now. So, so that's why I think TCO
Exactly.
futures are obviously powerful investment tools. Carl, any thoughts from you, kind of on Sui's edge over other ecosystems? Like, why are you at Navi? Why do you believe in the strength of Navi on Sui?
Yeah, I actually came from a EVM background. I used to work for like a EVM layer two. I understand like how necessary for foundations role while they are trying to push a certain narrative, right? So uh, like for like to be honest, EF is just not the sharpest foundation in this industry to lead some conversation, which is non-technical conversations towards to suit the market's need, right? Like, but Sui Foundation is actually the opposite. Like, BTCfi actually require quite a lot of high level or like official support to make the flywheels happening. Like, it's actually a flywheel map. More LPTC deposit, more protocol integrate, more users to come, and to be honest, the foundation actually play a very, very key role here, right? Like the term and the official support is actually very, very vital when it comes to this topic. And I think like and I think like this is like a non-technical issue, like people often estimate it, but actually I think this is vital in parallel to the technical as well. And from the technical side, I think like I don't know how you guys treated Tesla, but I think Tesla actually reimagine the whole definition, and it represent the core architecture of the vehicles for performance, right? And I think Sui actually got the same position among all the layer ones to let BTCfi grow. Like it actually run faster, execute cheaper, and scale more securely. And this is all three aspect BTC holders are actually looking for, right? Like nobody's want their asset like to be affected by by the security level of the chain, right? And like three storage model let users to update LBTC position for pennies. And I think like this is something very, very important, especially for normal users, not whales. But if you hold only like 1 to 2 BTC, I think you would treasure like even from 0.01 of them, right? You don't want any like dust, or you don't want any friction based on that. And Sway is able to compress the transaction cost and the cost of performing certain action to a lowest level. I think that's why it's become very, very popular for most of the BTC holders to come on the Sway.
Very good. I like the comparison with Tesla as well. 0 to 60 is faster on Zuri. Awesome. We do have a question from chat. What are your strategies in onboarding retail and institutional users to LBTC powered DeFi? So open floor for this one.
I mean, I think like generally, we're talking about institutions or like, more whales, kind of that level of user. They want to know their funds are safe. So I think like definitely like, think it takes time to kind of build that trust. And so for us, we don't do so much like direct outreach. It's more of just like that reputation over time. But when those conversations do happen, definitely just like, yeah, being able to show you've got those audits. Some people will go dive deep into those, or some people want that like one-on-one actual like strategy coaching. Like, hey, this is what you could actually do with the app itself. I think we really do tailor it to who the other party is at that time. So definitely can be a lot of white glove service, or some people they know exactly what they want to do already, so they don't require any hands-on help at all. So it really just depends on the other party.
Makes sense. Thank you. Let's have a quick spotlight on each protocol. So really looking for alpha, what's upcoming. Obviously we're heading into BTCfi strong summer. I'm sure you've got a strong roadmap through the next couple of months as well of product development. So yeah, let's leak it all right now. As much internal info and alpha as possible, right? So Amy, what's next at Cetus?
So I've been told that I can't share too much, but recently we launched our Cetus Pro, and it's currently in beta right now. Right now we can see, if you go into our front end in our landing page, you will see that within our app we have a lot of built-in like charts and analytics that you could see to kind of facilitate more of a professional kind of trading needs. And right now, what I can share is because since now it's in beta mode, but we're going to release a lot of like new features on top of it. So down the line, sometime in the future, we'll have a specific module targeting BTCfi, and that will allow users to really quickly access what sort of assets within this category and which pools are trending right now, and they'll be able to tailor that towards their trading needs. So that's something that I am able to share.
Awesome. Didn't hear anything. Pretend we didn't hear. Cool. That sounds incredibly exciting. I'm going to go and play with the pro features straight after this call because I haven't seen those yet. So thank you. Gidwa.
Yeah, I mean, relative to Bitcoin, LPTC as well. So we've got a few kind of like product updates that we'll be shipping soon. One is basically allowing our Steam AMM LP tokens to be used as collateral on Sweetland. So you can imagine perhaps LPTC paired with another BTC derivative asset, and then being able to borrow against that on Sweetland. So it's like another loop, a leverage loop, basically. And so that's very cool. It'll unlock some more capital efficiency. And we're also exploring things like BTC Vault and other, multiply features. So again, just focused on helping users, helping folks get more out of their Bitcoin in a safe manner. So I think on the Bitcoin side, that's probably it. Otherwise, yeah, there's always other products that I probably can't talk about, but I think the ones I've given should be pretty good for LBTC in the near future.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah, I mean, the others probably aren't important if it's not related to Bitcoin anyway, right? So.
There you go.
Good stuff. Carl, how about from you with Navi? We mentioned Perps Protocol earlier, but
yeah, we do have except for the perp, we actually got more exciting product down in the roadmap. So recently we just updated our UI to provide more clear status on different vault, the potential APR and borrower APR in a more clear manner. I think we actually have quite a lot of vault product incoming, which will allow users to use automated yield farming. So all they got to do is supply, for example, LBTC into our Volo vault, and by supplying LBTC back in Navi, we will be helping users to engage on, for example, Sway token looping strategy to to capture the yield with a with around 40% LTV onto the LBTC collateralized Sway loan. I think we have been doing final stage of testing the product. It's gonna be performed very, very well. So I think this is something we have a strong demand from the community. People would want to have some product which can do automated farming for them, to do one-click strategy for them. So this is something we feel very, very excited about as well.
Awesome. That sounds very exciting. So looking forward to seeing more on that side too. Maxime, with Lombard, how are we helping to bring Bitcoin on chain with Sui? What kind of strategies can we see upcoming and opportunities for users?
Right. Okay. So as I mentioned before, there the scope that we're focusing on right now would be one of the things we're focusing on is trading. So with regards to that, there will be some exciting push on Lombard's side in the coming months to accelerate trading on the chains which are best suited for that. That would involve product and as well as liquidity bootstrapping efforts on our side. So that would be something exciting on the alpha side. With regards to today, from the perspective of acquiring retail users, I think something that is quite exciting, and Matt, maybe you would want to share more about this, is our SDK. We're talking. We are progressing really well in our discussions with leading wallets that are the leading wallets within the Sui ecosystem to offer this native Bitcoin experience where users would be able to deposit or redeem native Bitcoin directly through the wallet, and then as BTC is deposited from wherever, whether it's a cold storage, a centralized exchange, whatever, on the background, it will be converted into LBTC. And what we can also offer on top of that is the one-click deployment of those assets into DeFi directly from the wallet. So this is something that we've been pretty successful with integrating on within the EVM space, and now we want to bring it to Sui. So that would be an exciting use case. As we received the previous question before, the way to approach institutional capital, well capital, is definitely different. But one of the aspects of this is obviously retail, and improving the UX is very important. Consolidating all the features into something that is accessible through a couple clicks within the single UI is very important, and we really do see ourselves as a powerful distributor. But also we would want to support other distribution channels with our SDK solutions to help them to be even more efficient in acquiring Bitcoin TVL.
I don't think I could add much more to that. I think anyone who's interested in the SDK can find it in docs section on lombard.finance. It's definitely a fantastic way to integrate basically a trusted Bitcoin bridge into any dApp or wallet in a quick and efficient way, which leads to net new liquidity flowing into protocols. So we've seen strong demand for that product. Being able to do so with the user experience that we have, allowing deposits from any exchange or wallet, etc., I think is a very powerful combination. And then one-click deploy into DeFi as well is a very strong proposition. So I think we've done our part to improve user experience around bringing a new asset into Sui as we have with EVM, and incredibly excited to see more integrations there, and the uptick in trading volume associated with it. So thank you for that one, Maxime. Let's do a rapid fire question or two. Maybe we do two for fun. So we'll start with a Sui related one. So what's the one thing that Sui does better than any other ecosystem? So this is really kind of sales pitch mode here of why people should be ditching their Ethereum or EVM wallets and going all in on Sui as a DeFi user. So what does Sui do better than any other L1 or L2 out there today? Amy.
Yeah, I think I'm in a good position to kind of say what I want to say here. I think it's been very prominent since recent events that we could see that I'd say Mist Labs and the Sui Foundation, and also like all ecosystem builders within Sui, we have shown collective efforts that are very solid to make sure that while we're focusing on growth within the ecosystem, we want to also make sure that we're building more security into what we are offering in terms of DeFi. So I say that really makes everything more solid for Sui.
I think that's a great point. Like the amount of confidence instilled in the ecosystem in a very short amount of time, post recent events, I think demonstrates like the maturity and professionalism of the ecosystem, and that definitely gives it a deep level of integrity and trust. And that goes back to a point Carl made earlier, actually, as well, around the foundation and having a strong foundation to, which is commercially minded to back up the ecosystem too. And I was just looking at the Cetus Pro UI right now. I can see there's a audit check which identifies potential issues or warnings around assets that you're trading. So I think that's, again, shows that level of maturity, which is awesome to see. Gidwell.
Yeah, I think we've spoken a lot about like Mist and Sui Foundation's like great stewardship, so I won't mention that. But I think just if you onboard someone to Sui today, I think compared to any other chain, it honestly just works, and it's just so smooth. And I remember, people who've been in crypto a long time, the headaches of using MetaMask, and even like, Solana's great, but you can't do certain things because the network gets congested, right? And I think there's just Sui's been pretty battle tested so far, and I think it's probably one of the best, if not the best, chains to onboard someone new to crypto entirely today. And a lot of that could be done on Slush Wallet, right? Which is a great wallet, and I think that in itself is a great leap ahead from what other ecosystems can offer right now.
Thank you, Carl.
Sure. So I think Sui is one of the few layer ones that can speedily grow BTC asset to close more than 300 million in less than like 4 to 5 months, right? It's growing fast, it's growing strong, and the foundation is actually leading the BTC train. So like I mentioned, you can't do this without the full support of the foundation, and you can see their effort. They're actually pushing hard on this. They actually unite the whole ecosystem, just notifying every DeFi pieces in the ecosystem to contribute to adopt more BTCfi strategy. And I think like it's on its pathway to become the most trusted layer, no matter not only for institution but also for retail users, right? It's actually highly secured, so it makes it feel more comfortable for institutional users to park their large BTC on Sui. And I think that the cost and speed is also friendly for users who try to use their BTC, not leaving them idle in the wallet, but rather put them on chain to capture like additional yield, additional profit and interest. So I think Sui is, no matter tech wise or like strategy wise, is actually doing very, very well on BTCfi.
Awesome. Definitely agree with the ethos there. Let's wrap up with one final question. Let's make it a fun question. I saw a smile when Gidwell said Slash Wallet. So I could ask if you were going to rebrand it, what name you would pick. But I won't do that after it was Sui Wallet previously. Let's do a personal question. So if you were not in DeFi, or if you were not in crypto, what would you be doing? What would your job be? Where would you be working? Amy.
Yeah, I've actually thought about this due to recent events. But I have like a hobby that I guess a lot of people kind of know, where I am like a very avid knitter. So kind of my dream job would be to kind of open some random like local yarn shop and just teach knitting to the community wherever that is. So that's kind of like what I want to do outside of crypto.
Awesome. I love the immediate direct response as well. Sounds like there might be some health and safety forms to go through setting that up with huge long needles, but
So like in the bio, it said like either knitting or drinking. So definitely some health thing that I have to kind of sort out as well.
or maybe both. You can do
Yeah.
both at the same time, I'm sure.
Why not?
Awesome. Thank you. Gidwell?
Well, if the hypothetical is I'm no longer in crypto, that must assume I've made it. Therefore, I will probably be on a farm somewhere, hopefully, and still self-sustained, and preparing for whatever weird macro events are about to hit us. But yeah, so I'd probably just I would be not online as much, and tending to my garden. So.
Oh, that sounds great. What would you be farming? Are we talking crops or?
Ooh, tomatoes are like probably my favorite. Like I love, Italian food. You got to have really good tomatoes, a good caprese salad. I mean, yeah, you got to have good tomatoes. So
Sounds good. I'm getting hungry now. How about you, Carl?
Like one of the like if I'm not in crypto, but I'm like one of the apps that working in this industry grants me is like I got to talk to different people. I like to talk to people no matter online, offline when I go to conferences. So if I'm not in this industry, probably I will become like a bartender, talk to random people, just offer them a small talk when they're feeling ups and down, share their feelings. I will give you that face if you order like a Ramos Gin Fizz like multiple times. So yeah.
Awesome. I know where I'll be drinking that.
I just want to say it feels like everybody has really thought about this a lot, and so like we're definitely not jaded at all, right? Just checking.
I only asked the question, so
I
I've
think
never
about
thought of it.
that like 10 times this week, when the every time when the volatility hits.
That's what makes it
Matt,
fun.
did you expect it to suddenly turn into a therapy session?
I
no,
didn't, but we
probably
could schedule another hour.
you can look at my YouTube search history, like how to become a bartender, how to make classic cocktail drinks. So yeah. Actually
So you already
preparing.
know how to. So we can hold you to that next time we're at an event.
No problem. Yeah. Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Looking
Yeah,
forward to
but yeah, I will try my best.
it. Maxime, I can't ask you the same question, unfortunately, because we've already answered that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I can come
So
up with something else. I'll be a
okay.
Michelin star chef. Okay, how about that?
Okay, that works. That works. You have to learn how to cook first, to be a chef.
I can cook. I was thinking about this. What excites me about DeFi? Composability, trying to connect a lot of different DeFi protocols and figure out new strategies and stuff like that. And then I thought, okay, I mean, cooking is not far from that. Actually, bartending is also not far from that. Figuring out new recipes, mixing ingredients. I think whatever involves mixing stuff, and preferably some degree of gambling as well, which opening a Michelin star is clearly a gamble. So I think, yeah.
You have to get the Michelin star first. You don't just open a restaurant and say this
Yeah,
is the
but I
Michelin
mean,
star.
when you try to open a Michelin level star, it's a restaurant that's clearly a gamble.
I could see this fitting you. You'd have all the gadgets around the kitchen, have like the water bath in one corner. Yeah, it would be amazing. So mixology, food, it's all going on here. Very good, awesome. I think we can wrap up there. So I want to say a big thank you to all of the guests we've had today. Very exciting times within the SUI ecosystem. So I encourage everyone to check out the projects, play with all the protocols, learn more. It seems like there's a lot of active development on the go as well right now, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So thank you all, and we're super happy to support with LBTC, and to see all of the incredible innovations within BTCfi on SUI. So thank you to everyone here today, and thank you for listening at home, or in the office as well. Obviously, we're just getting started here with BTCfi on SUI, and we've heard about all of the new integrations, fresh incentives, and deeper adoption, which will be coming soon. So yeah, if you're a builder, trader, or just curious, it's obviously the right time to be watching the space today. So thank you all, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
you.